Hi, I'm Sarah Rathburn, and welcome to Healthy Fayette County. With me today, I have Maya Mickelson as well as Tracy Burns. Tracy is the director of the Whitewater Valley Arts Association, and she's going to share a little bit about some upcoming events.
Well, I'm actually the president of Whitewater Valley Arts Association. So we have Second Fridays, which is our opening nights for the new art show for each month. So in March, it's going to be the high school regional art show, where we invited 19 different arts art classes from the different high schools in 6 counties. So Fayette, Franklin, Henry, Rush, Union, and Wayne counties will all participate. Then we also will have some different things coming up through the month in classes at the gallery. So if you would like to go to our Facebook page, you can look for introduction to wood carving, off the loom weaving with driftwood, mandala dot painting, and air dry clay sculptures with Enola Delaney. The painting is with Curtis Potter Sr., and Enola will be doing the driftwood weaving also, and the introduction to wood carving will be with John Duffy.
You have such a nice variety of activities going on. I hope to be there for some of them. So today we want to talk about the art and culture and how it plays into the health of a community. And Maya Mickelson is the executive director of the Indiana Arts Commission. She's going to start us off today with our conversation.
Sure, thank you so much. So glad to have the opportunity to talk about why the arts are an important part of a healthy community. And all the events that Tracy was listing that are happening at Whitewater Valley are, I think, speak to what Healthy Living Fayette County is doing, trying to incorporate the arts in everyday life, the art stroll, and what they're trying to do there to incorporate art and fitness. So when I talk to groups about why the arts and public health, the answer is pretty easy. Anything that feeds your soul and your spirit and helps you feel better about yourself is something that's going to make you a healthier person. Art brings lots of great mental health benefits, makes you feel good, sense of mastery, sense of excitement, sense of accomplishment. It also gives you a chance to be in community with other people. These art classes that Tracy was talking about are groups of people working together, learning something. When you go to an art exhibit, you're together with other people. When you go to a concert, you're with other people. When you see a mural, you get a chance to see the work of, very often, many people in creating that mural. It's the opportunity not only to make and experience something beautiful, but to be in community. And what we've learned over the course of the pandemic, well, we've learned a lot, but certainly what we've learned as it relates to public health is that what we lost was that sense of community. What people were really craving was community and being together. And the arts really offer you an opportunity to come together and be together in community. And while I was downtown today in downtown Connersville, there's so much to get excited about here, so much that can feed this movement of Healthy Fayette County. You've got these beautiful new sidewalks. You've got these gorgeous Edison lights that go over the main street here. You've got storefronts with all sorts of interesting, beautiful things in them, like the Art Association. And there's so much here already that putting that all together and incorporating that into an art stroll or other healthy events are really exciting to think about. And I think what Connersville is doing and what Healthy Fayette County is doing really could serve as a model for other communities in the state and how they can really intentionally incorporate the arts in helping create more healthy opportunities for folks who live there.
Great, thank you so much. Would you tell us a little bit more, some specific examples? I know that you have some data that indicates
absolutely.
Art and
oh my
helping
gosh,
with
there's
health.
so much. Yeah, once you get me started, it's sort of hard to put a quarter in my slot to get me to stop. So there is lots and lots of data out there about what the arts can do for older adults. I'll start with older adults. There is ample data that shows that older adults who have the opportunity to participate in arts experiences have much healthier physical outcomes. They fall less, they go to the doctor less, they need less prescription medication. Older adults, as we know, those of us who may have older adults in our lives know that sometimes loneliness and isolation can be an unfortunate byproduct of aging. And art experiences for older adults, or getting older adults involved in arts experiences, brings them together in community, gives them an opportunity to learn a new skill. Sometimes it gives them an opportunity to share a skill they've learned with other people. Crocheting, knitting, tatting, those sorts of things, quilting, those are all skills that in art forms that older adults may have some familiarity with and would love to come together in community to do together, and then also to share with others. So really significant positive outcomes for older adults. For young people, significant in both mental health and physical health outcomes for engaging in arts activities. For younger people, they're 5 times less likely to drop out if they are exposed to arts experiences. They also have less discipline problems in school. They're more excited about attending and participating. There are numerous positive health outcomes for young people who are exposed and have the opportunity to experience the arts. And then there have been research and studies done on how people feel when they see a mural. And we've got several beautiful murals here in downtown Connersville. People who have a chance to either participate in creating a mural or just have the opportunity to see a mural or see public art in their everyday life report more positive feelings, more enthusiasm for where they live. They feel more connected to where they are and to the people, their neighbors and their community and so forth. There's also a lot of great data around civic engagement. People who are involved with the arts register to vote more, they volunteer more, they are more philanthropic in their giving, whether it's their church or a civic organization. So participation in the arts has so many extraordinary, both physical and emotional and mental health benefits for folks that, again, I think it is so visionary for a healthy Fayette County to be embracing the arts in the way that they are in putting together their initiatives to help, again, bring more awareness and participation in health-related activities through the arts in this community. It's really exciting.
That's wonderful information. Tracy, we have our art strolls that happen on the second Friday of the month, and they take off at 7th Street, a registration, and go down and end up at the art gallery. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the exhibits that you would be showing there?
In April, we'll have a group coming from Henry County Arts Group. They will display, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 women. They'll have their things up, and it'll be up for the entire month of April. And then the first week of May, that will come down, and then the Whitewater Valley Arts Association's regional art show will go up, and that is all the members of Whitewater Valley Arts Association and the surrounding counties then that touch Fayette County will have an opportunity to come for a cash prize juried art show, and we give out different prizes. And then we have in June, I'm not exactly sure at the moment which group is coming in June, but every month we have the second Friday opening, and that will include a reception where we have light hors d'oeuvres, wine if you want it, and then we just talk about art, and it's just a fun event. And we then if there's things going outside with the art stroll, then you can enjoy all the different things that are going on, as well as come in and talk about art.
So we start at 7th Street and then we end at the art gallery at 4th Street. Let's switch a little bit to economics.
Yeah.
What do arts and culture add to our economic well-being in a community?
Oh, great question. So much. Obviously, you've got venues like the art gallery downtown that generates income. There's economic activity that comes from that. There is a ton of data and research that points to for business and industry, communities that have a vibrant arts and cultural community, it's easier to attract and retain employees. Businesses want to relocate, and there's been a significant change in sort of the idea around do people follow industry and business, or do businesses follow people? And what the research shows us now is that people want to live places where there's a lot going on, where there's a lot of arts and culture, leisure activities, recreation, and so forth. And business are realizing now that they need to be where people are already. And so those communities that have a vibrant arts and cultural community have lots of leisure and recreation opportunities, have farmers markets and murals and those sorts of quality of life, quality of place amenities. People want to be there, and then businesses relocate there. So from an economic development standpoint, that's hugely beneficial for a community. And there's also tourism. You have a great heritage history museum here, which no doubt attracts people from outside the area. Tracy took me through there back in the fall. Lovely exhibition. I learned so much about the history of classroom band instruction and all Connersville has to offer, and their important history related to music in the classroom, a great legacy that's exciting to learn about. And those sorts of attractions attract people from outside to come into a community. So having those sorts of amenities attracts people in. There's tourism. They dine. We just had lunch at a great restaurant down the street that was fantastic. They dine, they shop, they stay overnight, they visit the gallery. There are so many benefits for a community to have, again, vibrant quality of place, quality of life amenities outside of just what you might think of when you drive by the gallery or when you drive by a mural. There are lots of add-on benefits that it brings a community than just their existence. Lots of add-on. And there's tons of research that says, again, the more a community can do, the more benefit they'll receive as it relates to, again, people wanting to relocate. And what we're seeing here at the Arts Commission is that people still want to travel to have arts experiences in other places, but what they really want are arts experiences in their own backyard. So communities that have things like the Art Stroll, that have things like the Art Association, that have concerts or farmers markets or those sorts of amenities, people want to stay and be a part of those things. It builds community pride. People want to enjoy what they have in their own backyard. So communities, smart communities, are communities that are investing in that quality of place, quality of life. And again, I can't give a big enough shout out to Healthy Fayette County, because the work that you guys are doing is really helping set the bar for this community in this county and other communities and counties around the state.
What type of activities and events have you seen that really draw people into community involving arts and culture?
Yeah, great question. So, it can be, obviously the Art Stroll, what I heard from the planning committee meeting that I attended earlier today, you've got people from outside Connersville that are participating in that, which is great. Things like art walks or art strolls are great things that I've seen lots of communities do. Things like, you've got a gorgeous sort of a main street there with those fun Edison lights, closing the street down and having a street party or having a street dance. Or I've seen a community close their street and turn it into a roller rink for the night, right? Everybody brings their inline skates and they come and wheel around for the night in the middle of the street in downtown under the lights. Things like that are really fun. Dance classes, dance lessons, salsa music. Let's all learn how to dance salsa and dance together. Let's do line dancing together. Those sorts of things. I think we've seen a lot of communities embrace. Chalk festivals where you square off a grid off a big area and everyone does their most artistic best in their little square of asphalt there. Bubble fests, hula hoop, competitions. You name it. You're limited only by your imagination. And just because you've seen it someplace in a bigger place doesn't mean you can't scale it down for a community like Connersville. Setting up in the middle of the street and doing an artist market or a pop-up farmer's market, or having setting up a bunch of tables and just everybody bringing their favorite pie and sitting down and having pie together and listening to music. You are limited only by your imagination and the talent that's here in this community, which I can already see you've got tons of it. So I think I'd say you can do anything a larger community can do. You're only limited by your imagination.
So we see that arts and culture do play a big part in a community's health, as well as into a healthy economy.
Yes, absolutely.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about what the Indiana Arts Commission has happening?
Sure. We are primarily a funder, and we have grants for arts organizations. We also have grants for projects, and so we support about 500 arts organizations and arts projects around the state to do exactly what we've been talking about today. To have a art festival, or to sponsor an art gallery, or to sponsor an art stroll, or to do a mural. So we encourage folks who are interested in learning more about what we do. We also support creative entrepreneurs like Tracy. We have a creative entrepreneurship training program where we teach and train small business owners who are also artists on how to get their small business off the ground, and then we provide them with some seed funds to get going. So we are also an investor in our small business arts-related entrepreneurs around the state. So we exist to help invest and support growth in the arts and access to the arts across the state. And because we believe that Indiana is strengthened through the arts and creativity that exists in the state, and we're here to support that.
And we, a friend of mine too is part of the Art Association, and I Imagine Performing Arts is Cindy Perez, who also got the entrepreneurship of last year.
Yeah.
And so I forgot to mention a little bit more about the, we're not just the Art Association, we do involvement with the Imagine Performing Arts group as well. I'm part of the Imagine Performing Arts band, and so we're doing different things throughout the month, different months too, with the band and with them doing plays. So
yeah.
So we do have more than just the visual arts. We have the performing arts as well.
Right.
So
and that's growing.
it is.
I see a lot more, and I've looked at. I mean, you've got some interesting spaces downtown that could, allow for some growth in the arts, which is very exciting. So again, I'm when I come into a community like Connersville, when I see anchor organizations like Whitewater Valley that are really making a difference, it's really exciting, because what you need is a spark plug. You need an organization that is there as the anchor organization around which other things begin to happen and then spark off, and other things are inspired, and other folks step up, and other arts activities happen. So Connerville's very fortunate to have what we have here. You are, shout out to the Art Association, as well as to all the other creatives that are here in Connersville.
So a large part of Healthy Fayette County strolls was to encourage folks to walk their way to the art gallery. And Tracy had a lot of great things planned for us there. You haven't talked much about your very large July event.
Oh.
Would you like to touch on that with us for a bit?
Sure. That I'm an Indiana artisan, and that is it's a group that you have to jury into. There's 230 of us across the state, and it is it's very hard to get into, because I think I entered 4 times before they accepted my pieces. But they want to see originality, and they want to make sure that you are not, you're an artist. They want to help. It's like the entrepreneurship thing, and they want to help you grow and things like that. But as being part of that, we also are supposed to be ambassadors to the Indian artisans and other arts across the state. So we have 2 big galleries, and they are in Carmel and in French Lick. So those are the main galleries that we have pieces in, and the other people have things in a lot of retail stores and stuff too. But so as part of my entrepreneurship thing through the Indiana Arts Commission was to collaborate. And so I collaborated with the director of the Indiana Artisans in Carmel, and she was able to get 35 of the different artists from across the state to come to our gallery and put their artwork in. And so we had people from Kosciuszko County and Brown County come into Fayette County, which is pretty far away. The rest were from Hamilton, Hendricks, so a little closer. But and what was interesting was when these artists came in to bring their work into our gallery in our small town, they asked me, what's your population here? And I said, well, 13,000 in city and 22 in rural. And they were really surprised. They go, you have a gallery like this? And they were just amazed. And so as we put that all together, some of those people came back for the opening, for the art stroll, and things like that. So we had a wood carver that does wood bowls, it's the state of Indiana, and he set out front and he carved. I did demonstration with my rug hooking, and then we had our local wood carvers were down the street, and they set up a tent and were showing people how to wood carve as well. And then we had the brass band. We had a couple people singing, a couple other things that we had set up. So we were trying to get more people encouraged to see that there's more to art than just a painting. So. And I think it was, Yodi's came down and had ice cream on the street. So we had a lot of different things going on. And I think it was very successful. I think we had over 200 people sign into the gallery on that night. So, and they were from Kosciuszko County and Brown County as well. So, so again, we brought in a lot of people.
That was truly an amazing event.
Yeah.
I was so happy to be part of that. I'm thinking of when I was in audience with you before, a piece of information that you shared, and that was how art contributes to less falls in our elderly population.
Yes. That there is research that points to significant both physical and mental benefits to older adults, to the extent that we now have a program called Lifelong Arts Indiana, where we are training artists as well as arts organizations on how to work directly with older adults. And what they're doing is they're learning how to teach older adults, because you can imagine you might teach an older adult in a different way than you might teach a youth, if, for example, if you teach children's classes and so forth. So how training artists and arts organizations on how to work with older adults, and then going into nursing home facilities, aging service providers, and so forth, and providing a series of classes for those older adults on how to do rug hooking, or how to do needle felting, or how to do quilting, or how to do calligraphy, or some other art form, bookbinding, and so forth. And what we're doing is that we're also doing research through the University of Indianapolis on the changes that those arts experiences are having in the older adults who are experiencing them. And what we're finding, we're just midway into the research now, but what we're finding is that they report significant increases in their mental health, their outlook, their physical they're feeling less frail, they're feeling more physically confident, and they're feeling less anxious. There are so many positive outcomes, because it just sort of, when you sort of think about it, it sort of makes sense. If you're an older adult and you may feel like the world is kind of passing you by and things are happening too fast and you need somebody's help to program your phone or any of those sorts of things, to gain mastery in something, an art form that maybe you've always been interested in, or maybe you did it years ago and you put it away, to gain mastery in something and feel good about, hey, I made this, I learned how to do this. I can still learn how to do things at my age. And then to do that in company with older adults, other older adults, talk to each other, get to know, make some friends potentially. You can just see, when you break it down, what that can do for an older adult. And so this program that we've engaged in partnership with the Division of Aging in a fellow state agency, we hope to replicate across the state and make it as easy for an older adult to find an arts experience, an arts class, as it might be for a child to find arts instruction in many places in our state. So we know that Indiana demographically is aging at a significantly high level. We have an older population, and it's going to just get older. And so we want to make sure that through the arts, we can create a positive quality of life for those older adults as they age. which then, again, helps them feel good about where they are. It also helps their families because their families aren't worried about, oh gosh, I feel bad that grandma's, at home tonight. Well, no, grandma's at a rug hooking class and she's having a great time, so they don't have to worry about her, right? So you can just see the ripple effect by providing these experiences, what that then does to the rest of the family when older adults have meaningful opportunities, what it does for them, but then what it does for those that love them. So that's an area that we've just started in, and we hope to go deeper and deeper. And it's just a microcosm of what Healthy Fayette County is doing here, which is, again, providing an opportunity for folks to get healthier through experiencing the arts that has all sorts of ripple effects on their lives and how they feel about themselves. I mean, I was listening to the planning committee earlier today before we came over here, and, you've got walking paths or walking trail for folks who want to do as short as, I think, a half a mile to someone who wants to do almost 2 miles. But the point is that it's around the downtown area, and the art gallery is a part of it, and there's music, and then there might be chalk on the sidewalk, and maybe there's a flash mob that shows up and plays some music that you weren't expecting. And that's fun, right? And it makes an outdoor walk more enjoyable. And once you get comfortable with that outdoor walk and you have some mastery in it, maybe you haven't walked in a long time. Maybe exercise isn't part of your everyday life. But you come out to the art stroll, you have a great time, it's fun, and you think, a couple of days later you think, well, I know it's not an art stroll, but it's a nice day. You could strap on the Fitbit, put on some shoes, and get out there and walk a little bit. And we hope that, in the hopes that doing things like the art stroll help spark that creativity or that idea that physical exercise can be fun and exciting. And sometimes you do it in company with others, and sometimes you do it alone. But the arts can be an important part of that. I mean, some of us listen to podcasts, but a lot of us listen to music when we walk. I mean, arts, if you're interested, again, in getting out there and getting healthy, we know what a high tempo song can do for our interest and desire to get out there and be physical. So the arts are really a part of fitness, and I think, again, I really applaud Healthy Fayette County for really shining a spotlight on that.
Thank you. I want to share a little bit more about our art strolls. The second Friday of the month, starting on 7th Street, you can register. We typically will give away a gift card or something like that as an incentive to take the 3-block walk down to 4th Street and stop in at the gallery as well and come back. We offer different things along the way. We've offered some healthy snacks before. We've offered some music, some opportunities to create art, but we've also had some of our elementary schools and our preschool provide art along that stroll. So there's a reason to come and walk at whatever pace that you're walking at. Me, I'm very leisurely stroller up and down those 3 blocks down and back. And always pop in at the gallery. One thing, they're so welcoming and open to having people come in, having people walk through the gallery and talk us through a little of what's going on, but just to be able to enjoy the different works that you have on display. You have such great displays. They also have some wonderful snacks in the back room that you can stop in and enjoy.
For a treat when you're done, as a reward.
So everyone is very, very welcome. Is there anything else that we would like to talk about?
We also incorporate the Historical Museum on some of our walks too.
That's right. So you can take a turn and head a little to the other direction off of the main drag on Central and head over to the museum and get a few more steps in there.
Right.
Absolutely. See those gorgeous cars they have on exhibit.
Oh, yes.
So much fun to see in that museum. It's a real treasure.
That's true. So I'd like to thank you both. Maya, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wealth of knowledge. And Tracy, I need to acknowledge that you're also a very large part of Healthy Fayette County's Planning Committee.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see you all on our next stroll.